is he going to go at the end? Where's he going to go? Okay, so we're going to do those first. Interpreter. All right, Mr. Interpreter. Oop, I may have disconnected him. Okay. Did the interpreter still appear by phone? Right.
Is he still there?
Well, no, I think I had disconnected when I disconnected. Okay.
Morning, Your Honor. This is Theodore Leal again. The interpreter has been previously sworn by Your Honor.
Yes, good morning. Sorry, I couldn't disconnect from Osceola without disconnecting you too. Apologize for that.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right. Darwin Romanthu? All right. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Darwin Román. Darwin Román. La fecha de nacimiento es 13 de enero del 82.
My name is Darwin Roman, and the date of birth is January 13 of the 1982.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, in this case, your charge as follows. Count 1, battery, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Does he qualify for PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he'll also be subject to PTR supervision. Thank you.
¿No puedo hacer una pregunta?
May I ask a question?
Sir, you can talk to your attorney, but you need to address your questions to your attorney.
Pues yo no contraté abogado.
I did not hire any attorney.
The public defender's been appointed to represent you, sir. But you can talk to your attorney at a later time. Thank you. Pardon? It says on. Wrong. In addition to the bond. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. If we can get appearances for the state attorney's office and the public defender's office, please.
Rasul Bouillon for the state.
Thank you.
Christy Ficani on behalf of the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. And as indicated for Osceola, the public defender's office is appointed unless indicated otherwise. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth. Oh, I'm sorry, he needs the headsets, yes.
Victoriano de Jesús, fecha de nacimiento marzo 27 del 56.
Marciano de Jesus, March 27 of 1956.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, in this case, your charge as follows. Count 1, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I do find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is going to be set in the amount of $1,500. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Unless I say otherwise. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Leonardo Herrera Pérez. Leonardo Higarera Pérez. Día 1 de octubre del 78.
Leonardo Higarera Perez, October 1st of 1978.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, in this case, the public defender's office is not appointed to represent you because you do not qualify. In this case, your charge as follows. Count 1 is operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. I do find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $500. In addition, sir, you are out on bond on 2 separate cases First case, 2021 CT 903. Second case, 2021 CT 904. Because the court's found probable cause for the alleged new violation, bond is revoked in both of the cases that you're out on bond on. Will be held on no bond in both of those cases. Thank you.
¿Qué voy a hacer ahora?
So what am I going to do now?
Sir, I've made my ruling. You have the ability to contact an attorney to represent you. I can't give you legal advice.
Okay. Sí, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Mauricio Valle, noviembre 28 del 63.
Mauricio Valle, 11/28 of 1963.
All right, sir, you've been arrested pursuant to a warrant on 7 counts. Counsel, you waive reading?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court does find probable cause for your arrest on the warrants. You're going to be held on no bond. Thank you. Yes, no bond on all counts. All right, I believe that's the last interpreter case. Is that correct? Is that the last interpreter case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Interpreter.
You're very welcome, Your Honor.
Have a good day. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Jermaine Reese for 10/12/92.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, in this case, been arrested on the following charges. Count 1 is petty theft. Count 2 is leaving the scene of a crash involving damage to property. Count 3 is grand theft with property damage. Count 4 is reckless driving with damage to person or property. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on those charges.
Your Honor, we'd like to challenge PC on this case.
All right, go ahead.
In the arrest affidavit, the officer didn't put any supporting facts as to why he was arrested on these charges. It just kind of explains the elements of the charges.
State.
Rachel Bouillon for the state, Your Honor. The state finds that there is probable cause. The officer specified the Orange County Fire Department. This officer also specified what happened. There was damage to the property. The officer also specified that he did drive a vehicle involved in a car crash resulting in damage. And as to the last count, he specifies Orange County Fire Rescue Vest, and even specified the value of the damage of the property taken. Wherefore, Your Honor, state would argue that there is probable cause.
All right, I agree with the defense that the factual allegations are insufficient. The case is going to be reset for tomorrow. The state has 24 hours to file a supplemental affidavit.
Your Honor, Rachel Bouillon for the state, if I may, can we please reset this for 48 hours as opposed to the 24 hours?
Defense?
Defense would object, Your Honor.
Okay,
All right, it'll be set in 24 hours tomorrow. Thank you.
thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Samuel Rodriguez Medina, 03-15-1997.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, we have a couple of matters for you. First case, your charge as follows. Count 1, burglary of a dwelling. Count 2, criminal mischief. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on both of those charges. Count 1, bond set at $5,000. Count 2, bond set at $500. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim in the case. You'll not return to the alleged scene. In addition, you were out on bond in case 2021 CF 1777. So because the court's found probable cause for the alleged new law violation, your bond is revoked in your other case that you were out on bond on. You'll be held on no bond in that case. Thank you.
Sir.
This is Mr. Williams, Your Honor.
All right. I don't know if we're going to be able to hear him. Can we get him a little, oh, yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the officer holding the mic. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Rayford Thomas Williams II, August 14th, 1956.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, in this, you have a couple matters. First, charged with petty theft. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that count. Bond is going to be set in the amount of $1,000 on that count. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You'll not return to the alleged scene. In addition, you were out on bond in case 21, is that a CF or a CT? CF 4715. Because the court's found probable cause for the alleged new law violation, your bond will be revoked. In the case you're out on, actually you're on ROR. Your ROR will be revoked. You'll be held on no bond in that case. Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Your Honor, you see I got two cases?
Yes, sir. You need to talk to your attorney, sir, if you have any question, but I've addressed both cases for today. You can address whatever questions you have to the judge assigned to your cases. Thank you.
I thought it was one case.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
That's the law key.
Date of birth?
July 28, 1960.
All right, thank you. Sir, you're arrested pursuant to a capias, so there is probable cause for your arrest as set forth in the capias. As directed in the capias, you're going to be released to mental health PTR.
Huh?
You're released mental health PTR. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, he also
What's that?
has an open competency case for 2020 MM 200 AW.
Right, I don't see any bond or anything that he was out on. I don't see anything that he's violated. So I'll take no action on that case. All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Jeffrey Reedy, 10/11/1985.
All right, thank you, sir. Let's get appearance of counsel for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Benjamin Jones, on behalf of Jeff Reedy.
Thank you. All right, the public defender is not appointed in this case because defendant has private counsel. Sir, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Mr. Jones, you waive reading of the charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. On 2 counts, so there is probable cause for your arrest pursuant to the warrant. You're going to be held on no bond in both counts.
Thank you, Judge. If I just may briefly address, I'm not 100% certain why we're here today. He had IAs yesterday, and I got calls from whoever was covering the J from the court yesterday saying that they wanted to set it for today to discuss bond issues, which seems incredibly rare to me. I don't really know why it was rolled to today, but I'm prepared to discuss bond even though I know that's not the case with no bond warrants.
Yeah, I can't. Judge Wooten signed the warrant, didn't authorize the IA judge to address it, so certainly can be brought up to the division judge, which I believe is Judge Bleckner.
Your Honor, Richard
Yes.
Leon for the state, I can shed some light on that. The judge previously covering Judge McGinnis noted that he had private counsel, that's why he reset it, so the defense may have an opportunity to speak with private counsel, which is why it was reset to today. I think it was yesterday it was reset from. Your Honor, I know you already mentioned no bond, but there are some additional conditions the state would request regarding the charge.
Well, I'm not going to set conditions because he'll be held on no bond,
Okay.
and that can be addressed by the division judge assigned to the case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, as indicated earlier, the Public Defender's Office is appointed for all the cases here today unless I otherwise indicate. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Marvina Brown Ennis, 11/11/1970.
All right, thank you. In this case, your charge as follows. Count one, aggravated battery with a weapon, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $5,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Corey Christian, 11/09/1989.
All right, thank you. In this case, your charge as follows. Count one, aggravated battery. The court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $3,500. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. Thank you.
$5,000 plus PTR, Judge?
Pardon?
You said $5,000 plus PTR supervision?
3,500 plus PTR.
Okay.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
05/16/1978, Carlos de Santiago.
In this case, your charge as follows. Count one, tampering with a witness. Count two, battery, dating violence. Court finds probable cause for your arrest on both of those charges. Count one, bond is set at $2,500. Count two, bond is set at $1,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim, and you will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Tommy Lee Jackson Jr.
Sir, in this case, we have a couple of cases. First of all, there is a warrant for your arrest. So there's probable cause for your arrest pursuant to the warrant. There's one charge, and that's domestic battery by strangulation. Pardon? Okay. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500 on count one. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Also, you are out on bond in case 2021 MM 124 because of the probable cause for the alleged new law violation. Bond is revoked in your MM case, and you'll be held on no bond in that case. Ma'am, do you want to address the court?
Yes,
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Takeda Hartnett.
Pardon?
Takeda Hartnett, 4893.
All right, what's your relationship with the defendant?
No relationship, just friends.
Pardon?
No relationship, just friends.
Oh, okay, you're not the alleged victim in the case?
Yes, I am, but no, there's no relationship. We're just friends.
Okay, do you want to say something to the court about this case?
Yeah, he shouldn't be. I was trying to see if he can get a bond because, I mean, he's not even the victim. I mean, not the victim, the suspect. So I was trying to see if he could at least get a bond today.
Well, I set bond on one case, the other case bond was revoked, but you want to bring those matters to the attention of the judge assigned to the various cases, or the state attorney are free to do that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, does the victim want contact? Could we amend it to no hostile contact since she's here? And is that what you want, ma'am?
Yes.
Your Honor, could we?
I'm not going to do that, but that can be brought to the attention of the division judge assigned to the case. All right, thank you.
Okay, man, can I ask you a question? So when I go to court.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Joseph, Prince Jeremy.
All right, in this case, your charge as follows. Count one, aggravated assault. Court finds probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $1,000. You're subject to PTR supervision. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim, and you will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Oh. You want to address this case?
Yes,
What is your name and date of birth?
my name is Bernard Jeremy, 11466, and I am the father of the defendant, and I'm beseeching the court to release him in his own recognizance, if that's possible, so he can come home. It was a misunderstanding, and I called the authorities only as a precaution, but not as out of necessity.
Sir, you can address the state with respect to any charging decisions, and with respect to the terms and conditions of release, you can bring those to the attention of the division judge. All right?
Your Honor,
Thank you.
could we address no hostile contact?
Not with me, but with the division judge, yes.
Your Honor, what was the bond amount assigned with pretrial release?
$1,000 bond and then PTR, no contact, no weapons or firearms. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Tony Ray Ramsey, 10/11/77.
All right, we have a couple of matters for you, sir. First of all, you're arrested on the following charges. Count one is battery, domestic battery by strangulation. Second count, battery with prior conviction for battery, resisting officer without violence, 2 counts for that. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on those charges. Count one, bond is set at $2,500. Count two, $2,500. Count three, $1,000. Count four, $1,000. No contact with any alleged victims. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms.
Your Honor, we have a
In
PC.
addition, you were out on bond in 2 cases. One, 2020 CT 515, and then also in 2021 CF 3856. Because of the court's finding of probable cause of the alleged new law violations, your bonds are revoked in both of those other cases. You'll be held on no bond in both of those other cases.
Your Honor, we have a PC challenge as to the new law violation.
Pardon?
We have a PC challenge.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
The arrest affidavit didn't explicitly say that the alleged victim couldn't breathe in the situation.
Which count are you challenging?
I believe it's the bat strangulation. Trying to remember off the top of my mind.
All right, I've reviewed the affidavit on that charge. Before I reviewed it again, I find there is PC for the domestic battery by strangulation. All right, thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Jesus Cedeno, August 30th, 1991.
All right, thank you. In this case, you're charged with count one, battery, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. A bond is set at $500. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You'll not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you.
May I ask
Do you want to address this case?
Yes.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Vicky Valdez Field, February 18th, 1993.
Ryan, what's your relationship with the defendant?
He's my husband. We live together with our 4 children.
Okay. If you want to say something to the
Yes.
court, you can do that. Go ahead.
That I do want contact with my husband, and I would like for him to be able to come home before Father's Day, if possible.
What's the state's position on this?
Your Honor, state's concerned about the safety of the victim. I know that the victim wants it, but based on the arresting affidavit, Your Honor, there's the altercation happened, and unless I misread it, Your Honor, it's 4 to 5 shoving. If anything, Your Honor, and we leave it to the judge's discretion. If the judge decides to allowed contact, we would ask for no hostile contact, but at this time, state is opposed to that, Your Honor.
Vince,
Your Honor, could I inquire of her real quick?
go ahead.
Ma'am, are you in fear of Mr. Sedano?
No, ma'am.
And you want contact with him?
Yes, ma'am.
If anything were to happen, would you call 911?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we would be asking for no hostile contact.
What's the history? Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant has a history of domestic violence against the same victim, aggravated battery, domestic on a pregnant female, and battery domestic violence, both of which are against the same victim.
All right, the court's prior rulings will remain in full force and effect. Thank you.
Your Honor, if he's released, could he have one escorted trip back to get any belongings that he might need to get?
Your client can go back to the home to retrieve personal belongings once with law enforcement only.
Okay.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Javel Doctor, October 1st, 1996.
All right, thank you. In this case, you're charged with battery, dating violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $1,000. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. Have no contact with the alleged victim, and you will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Clevens Francois, 100299.
In this case, you're charged with battery, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $500. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Ma'am, would you like to address the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you please state your full name and date of birth?
My name is Naisha Bronson. I'm 0605-2000.
All right, and what's your relationship with the defendant?
He's the father of my child.
Okay. Is there something you'd like to say to the court
Yes,
regarding this case?
I'm pleading that you guys please release him. It was a misunderstanding. We was tussled. I don't know if you have the statement. We were tussling and I had got accidentally cut in the face by his fall. He fell on me. And it was just a big misunderstanding. And I'm so sorry for wasting everyone's time in this court. And I just beg that you guys please let him come home to his daughter.
The state's position on this?
Your Honor, may I follow up with the victim?
Pardon?
May I ask a few more questions to the alleged victim in this case? Ma'am, are you in fear of Mr.
No, I have
Francois?
no fear in my heart for him.
In the event that this incident occurs again, would you be willing to dial 911 and let the authorities know?
Yes.
At this time, if you were, would you be okay with any no hostile contact in this scenario?
Yes.
Okay, nothing further from
Wait, you
state.
said no contact?
No hostile contact.
Does that mean I get to see him, like his daughter gets to see him? Yes. I'm okay with that.
State has no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Your Honor, we agree. We'd be requesting no hostile contact. Clearly, the alleged victim here wants contact with her significant other and is not in fear of him.
Oh, Your Honor, I do have a follow-up question. I'm so sorry. Are you financially dependent on the defendant?
Yes.
Are you financially able to sustain
I get
yourself?
my own money, but like we're supporting our child together as a family.
And who pays for the majority of the expenses, ma'am?
We share.
Okay, no further
He
questions,
pays
Your Honor.
more than me, though.
History?
No prior criminal history, Your Honor.
None? All right. All right, the court, ma'am,
Yes, Your Honor.
you understand that the court is prepared to prohibit any contact at all between the defendant and you. Do you understand that?
I don't like no contact at all.
Right, that's my order right now. You're asking me to change that order, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're not in fear if the court allows the defendant to have non-hostile contact with you. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not in fear at all.
Okay.
I'm saying it's a mistake. It was a mistake to call the cops. It was a mistake. I had a misunderstanding.
All right.
It was just a little cut, and he fell on top of me.
All right, so all the conditions of release previously announced by the court will remain in full force and effect, except no contact will be modified to no hostile contact. Sir, do you understand what that means, no hostile contact?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Terry Keitha Glenn, December 25th, 1998.
All right, thank you. In this case, you're charged with battery domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $500. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
Oh,
Your Honor,
ma'am, are you here to address this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Scarlett Amador Delgado, 4/17/97.
All right, and what's your relationship with the defendant?
I'm his fiance, and I just don't want, I don't want him to be stuck here. It was a misunderstanding. He's never put his hands on me ever in his life. He's the sweetest person. He's never been aggressive ever. I've been in an abusive relationship before. I have no fear towards him. I'm not afraid of him. I know he would never harm me. I was just scared of something happening, so I called. But I don't want us to not have no contact. He's the only family that I have, and I'm all he has. And I just want him to come home.
Any prior history?
No prior criminal history, Your Honor.
None at all? Okay. State, any position?
Your Honor, may I follow up with the victim?
Go ahead.
Ma'am, are you guys currently dating?
We are.
Do you guys have any kids together?
We do not.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm expecting right now. I haven't gotten my.
And did you yourself call 911?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if you feel like your life would be in danger or if you were threatened
Absolutely, I would
safety,
call.
would you call 911?
Yes, sir.
Would you be okay with no hostile contact?
Absolutely.
Okay. State has no further questions, Your Honor.
Vince?
Your Honor, we would be requesting no hostile contact based on her testimony and the lack of criminal history.
So ma'am, you would not, you're not afraid, you're not in fear if the court allows the defendant to have non-hostile contact with you?
He's my best friend. I've known him most of my life. He would never do anything.
All right. All right, so all the terms and conditions of release previously announced remain in full force and effect, except no contact will be modified to no hostile contact. Sir, do you understand what that means, no hostile contact?
Can you explain for me, please, sir?
Pardon?
Can you explain for me, please?
It means you can have no hostile contact of any kind. That is, you will be permitted to be in her presence, but no hostility at all. Certainly no violence, no battery, no threats of violence, no written, oral, anything, sending notes, sending text messages, nothing hostile at all. If you have a question in your mind, sir, don't do it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
To Sean Henry, 01/05/1997.
All right, thank you. In this case, you're charged with battery, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $500. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. You'll have no contact with the alleged victims. You not possess or own any weapons or firearms.
Your
Ma'am,
Honor-
would you like to address this case?
Yes.
All right, please state your full name and date of birth.
Brittany Davis, 07/26/1996.
All right, and what's your relationship with the defendant?
He is my child's father and also my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
When this happened, my daughter was inches away. I do not want contact with him for me or my daughter, and I am in fear.
Okay.
I do, if he's out and released, I plan on taking my daughter and leaving state.
Well, did you just hear the conditions of release that I announced?
Yes, that he has bond of $500. His mom is going to bail him out. I do not feel saved. This is one punch. One punch did all of this. I have lacerations in my mouth. I almost had a broken cheekbone, and I also have 2 chipped teeth over a phone because I caught him cheating.
Does the state have any questions?
Your Honor, I do, but the state is asking for a no ball hold. State is concerned, just visible, it's visibly apparent. State is concerned about the victim's safety in this matter and is concerned that any bond would allow would give the defense the possibility of posting bail and placing the victim's life in danger, especially the fact that this occurred in front of a child. I do have some follow-up questions, Your Honor.
Well, let me hear from the defense on what you're arguing for.
Your Honor, he's entitled to a bond. I also have a probable cause challenge as to this case.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
On the
wait, do you have,
probable cause challenge.
does the victim have children with him?
Yes, I have one daughter who was
okay.
right in front of him when he punched me.
Okay, never mind. I withdraw my probable cause challenge. Thank
Okay.
you.
What's the history?
No criminal history, Your Honor.
No criminal history?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. State, what would be the authority for the court to hold the defendant on no bond?
Your Honor, state believes there are mitigating circumstances. There's reasonable fear and justifiably so. Injuries are visibly present. And Your Honor, the fact that this occurred in front of a child, we of course leave it to the court's discretion and would ask that if the court decides that there's no bond, no area to find no bond, that it be a higher bond than the $500 amount. Further, Your Honor, this was also the officer who did the investigation, his recommendation as well.
All right. Defense, response.
Once again, he's entitled to a bond. I don't believe the state has any legal authority, nor the court to hold him no bond, if I'm not mistaken.
Your Honor, I did want to point out that there are mitigating circumstances such as
My
the victim's
daughter
safety.
was there.
Ma'am, I have heard. Based on what's presented, I agree with the defense. I don't see a sufficient basis to hold the defendant on no bond. However, I do agree with the state that the court can set terms and conditions of release that the court believes is appropriate in the totality of the circumstances. So all the terms and conditions previously announced will remain in full force and effect, but bond will be increased to the amount of $5,000 on count one. Thank you. Please say your full name and date of birth.
Mardoche Mike Matherin, 0308-1999.
All right, sir, in this case, you're charged with battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is going to be set in the amount of $1,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms.
Your Honor, I have a
Would you
probable
like to address
cause.
this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what's your full name and date of birth?
Maria Forrester, 073199.
Okay, and what's your relationship with the defendant?
He's my baby's father and my boyfriend.
Okay,
I really need contact with him. I need him to help me raise my daughter. I need him out today because I don't have nobody else but him. He didn't do anything to me. It was a misunderstanding. I need him out.
any prior history?
Yes, Judge. 6 felony convictions, 14 misdemeanors, 4 failures to appear, 23 unknown dispositions. Last conviction was in 2019 for marijuana possession and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Okay, the court's terms and conditions release previously announced will remain in full force and effect. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, could he have one escorted law enforcement trip to retrieve any belongings from, excuse me, belongings from the residence?
Yes, your client can go to the home to retrieve personal belongings only once and only with law enforcement.
Understand that?
Yeah, so how much am I going? 100.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Mario McCrary, February 5th, 1970.
All right, sir, in this case, you're charged with battery. The court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $1,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Yes, you will. March 19th, 2000.
All right, in this case, you're charged with battery dating violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $500. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Willie Walker, 4/22/1992.
In this case, you're charged with battery, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $1,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you.
Right. Okay, here you go.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Kevin Leon Williams, 85688.
All right, in this case, you're charged with battery, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $500. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. You will not have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you. Oh, ma'am, you'd like to address this case?
Hi, yes, Your Honor.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Kenya Mitchell, 11/19/1982.
All right, what's your relationship with the defendant?
That's my boyfriend. I'm the alleged victim. I know I called. He has to go to work tomorrow. Please, could you just let him out? I don't want, we would live together. Please, I need no hostile contact. Please, Your Honor.
Any prior history?
Yes, Judge. He has 2 felony convictions.
Okay, it was prior history.
Hold on, ma'am.
And he has a history of domestic violence, dating violence, aggravated battery, 2 counts. The victim was not specified. We defer to the state on the previous victim.
That's not.
All right, the court's previous pronouncement will remain in full force and effect. Thank you.
So what does that mean?
Your Honor, could he have one law enforcement escorted return to retrieve belongings?
Yes, he can go to the home once, only with law enforcement to retrieve his personal belongings.
Oh. Kevin? Why?
Please state your full name and, your case is over, ma'am. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Christina Jean Worthy, May 21st, 1967.
All right, in this case, you are charged with assault. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $500. You'll be subject to PTR supervision. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim, and you will not possess or own any weapons or firearms. Thank you.
Okay, can I ask a question?
You can ask a question of your attorney, but we need to go on to the next case, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ali Abdul refused.
Ali Abdul refused. Okay, then you reset. Be reset for tomorrow. All right, please come up to the microphone. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Maxwell Edward Austin, November 4th, 1998.
All right, thank you. All right, we have a couple of matters. First of all, you're arrested on the charges of count 1, possession of drug paraphernalia, count 2, possession of oxycodone, Percocet. Court finds probable cause for your arrest on those charges. Bond on count 1 set at $1,000, count 2, $2,500. In addition, you were out on bond in case 2021 CF 5447. Because of the court's probable cause finding on the alleged new law violation, your bond is revoked in that case, and you're going to be held on no bond in that case. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Antonio Battle.
I'm sorry?
Antonio Battle, 9/22/88.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Antonio Battle, 9/22/88.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, in this case, sir, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant on 2 counts, so the court does find probable cause for your arrest on the warrant. As set forth in the warrant on count 1, you're going to be held on no bond. Count 2, bond is set in the amount of $5,000. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Excuse me?
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Jose Hormazaba, 1/17/1964.
All right, thank you. In this case, your charge as follows. Count 1, possession of heroin. Count 2, possession of cocaine. And count 3, possession of drug paraphernalia. Court finds probable cause for your arrest on all of those charges. Count 1, bond is set at $2,500. Count 2, bond is set at $2,500. Count 3, bond is set at $1,000. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Samuel Blinn, to 1891.
All right, sir, in this case, you were arrested pursuant to a capias on 6 counts, so there is probable cause for your arrest on the capias. Pursuant to the capias, you're going to be held on no bond on all 6 counts set forth in the capias. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sure. I'm sorry, you said Crystal Colburn is mental health? Yes, sir. Okay, we'll reset that for tomorrow. Please state your full name and date of birth.
August 21st, 1978.
I'm sorry, sir, could you get a little closer to the microphone?
Okay, Carlton Johnson,
Date of birth?
08/21/78.
All right, thank you. All right, we have a couple of matters, sir. First of all, you're arrested on the following charges. Count 1, possession of MDMA ecstasy. Count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia. Court finds probable cause for your arrest on those charges. Bond on count 1 is $2,500. Count 2, $1,000. In addition, you are out on bond in case 2021 CF 2997. Because of the court's probable cause finding on the alleged new law violations, your bond is revoked in that other case. You'll be held on no bond in that case. Thank you. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
6/15/94.
I'm sorry, did you say Larry Brown?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, a couple matters for you, sir. First of all, you're arrested on the following charges. You have one case with count 1, burglary of unoccupied structure. Count 2, criminal mischief. Court finds probable cause for your arrest on both of those charges. Count 1, bond set at $2,500. Count 2, bond set at $1,000. So I have no contact with the alleged victim. You will not return to the alleged scene. You also have a second case, sir. Again, the same charges, however. The court does find probable cause for your arrest on both of those charges. Count 1, burglary of an unoccupied structure. Bond set $2,500. Count 2, criminal mischief. Bond set at $1,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim in that case and not return to the alleged scene in that case. Thank you. Alex Lowe. What happened to Doreen Kaminsky? Um,
Um,
21014485.
Bonded, Your Honor.
Bonded?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you said Mr. Lowe refused?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that'll be reset for tomorrow. Keep that one. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Maurice Maxim, 11/15/1990.
All right, thank you. In this case, you have 5 counts. Count 1, possession of alprazolam. Count 2, possession of oxycodone Percocet. Count 3, possession of cannabis more than 20 grams. Count 4, resisting officer without violence. And count 5, driving while license suspended. Court does find with third subsequent offense. Court finds probable cause for your arrest on all of those charges. Count 1, count 2, count 3, and count 5, bond is set at $2,500 on each of those counts. Count 4, bond is set at $1,000. Thank you.
Your Honor, Thomas McCraney refused.
Okay, reset him for tomorrow. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Kevin Jason McIntosh, 4/16/81.
All right, sir, in this case, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant on 3 counts, so there's probable cause for your arrest on all 3 of those counts. Pursuant to the warrant, bond will be set as follows. Count 1 is $1,500. Count 2, $250. Count 3, $250. And the conditions of release is that you will not return to the alleged scene of the offenses. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Latravius Devontae Mitchell, 7/1992.
All right, thank you. In this case, your charge as follows. Count 1, possession of more than 20 grams of cannabis, and count 2, resisting officer without violence. Court finds probable cause for both of those counts. On each of those counts, bond is set in the amount of $1,000. Thank you. Sir, please state your full name and date of birth.
Donald John Richard, 12869.
Thank you, sir. In this case, your charge as follows. Count 1, criminal mischief. Count 2, resisting officer without violence. Court finds probable cause for both of those charges. On each of those counts, bond is set in the amount of $1,000. Thank you.
Is there any way we can take this today or something?
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Ruben Christopher, 41381.
All right, sir, we have a couple matters here for you. First of all, in your first case, you have 6 counts as follows. Trafficking in cocaine, more than 28 grams, less than 150 kilograms. Count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia. Count 3, destroying or concealing evidence. Count 4, possession of a controlled substance without prescription. Count 5, possession of heroin within 1,000 feet of a specified area. Count 6, possession of marijuana within 1,000 feet of a specified area. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on all those charges. Bond set as follows. Count 1, $100,000. Count 2, $1,000. Count 3, $2,500. Count 4, $2,500. Count 5, $10,000. Count 6, $2,500. In addition, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant in another case, so there's probable cause for your arrest on the 2 counts set forth there in that warrant. Pursuant to the warrant, count 1 bond is set at $15,000. Count 2 is set at $5,000. Conditions of release on both counts is do not return to the Crosby Motor Inn and do not go within 500 feet of the Crosby Motor Inn. Thank you.
So, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Summer Renee Shroop, 11/4/1977.
All right, we have a couple matters for you. First, there's a charge of driving while license revoked as a habitual offender. The court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500. In addition, you were out on bond in case 2021 CF 4075. Because the court's found probable cause for the alleged new law violation, your bond is revoked in your other case, and you'll be held on no bond in that case. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
It's Justin Serpa. Birth date is July 15th, 1985.
All right, thank you. In this case, you're charged with 1 count of grand theft, 3rd degree of motor vehicle. The court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500, and you'll have no contact with the alleged victim in that case. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Please state your full name and date of birth.
Eric Foyer Grant Jr., 8/31/1998.
All right, thank you. Sir, in this case, we have a couple cases here. First of all, you were charged with driving while suspended or revoked license. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $500. In addition, you were out on bond in another case, 2020 MM 9084BO. Because the court's found probable cause for your alleged new law violation, your,
Your Honor, he's on pretrial diversion on that case. Could we please take no action as to the bond on that case?
well, there's a bond posted, though. Yeah, the bond's gonna be revoked. You're gonna be held on no bond on that case. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Christopher Lynn McDonald, 11/14/1987.
All right, thanks, sir. In this case, you were arrested pursuant to a capias, so there is probable cause for your arrest on the capias. In accordance with the capias, your bond is set in the amount of $2,000. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Michael Mendoza, 9/1980, sir.
All right, sir, in this case, you were arrested pursuant to a capias, so there's probable cause for your arrest pursuant to that capias. You are going to be held on no bond in that case. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
John Wesley Stanford III, October 4th, 1993.
All right, thank you, sir. In this case, you're arrested for two separate capiases for two separate cases. So there's probable cause for your arrest pursuant to both of those capiases. On your one case, the 357 case, pursuant to the capias, your bond is set in the amount of $750. And in your 358 case, pursuant to the capias, your bond is set in the amount of $100. Thank you.
Your Honor, he's also out on bond in case number 2021 MM160AO, or AA rather. 2021 MM
160.
160AA.
I just don't have any evidence of an alleged new law violations. These are failure to appear for pretrial.
Here occurred on June 14th, and the open case offense date is 4/17.
I'm sorry, what?
The failure to appear was on June 14th, Your Honor,
Right.
and the offense date of the open case was 4/17 of this year.
I will take no action in the MM case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that it? Okay. Well, I mean, is that all the cases? Oh, did they? I was going to say, it seemed like something was missing. Okay. That's all right. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Willard Allen Degg Jr., 7/20/61.
All right, thank you, sir. In this case, you're charged with criminal mischief. I do find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. You're going to be released on PTR supervision. You'll have no return. You will not return to this alleged scene, and you'll have no contact with the alleged victim in the case. Thank you.
Michael DeGilio, bonded.
I'm sorry. What happened to Steven Gonzalez? Okay. Thank you. All right, please state your full name and date of birth.
Stephen Matthew Gonzalez, 33170.
All right, thank you, sir. In this case, you're charged with battery. The court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set at $1,000. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim. You'll not possess or own any weapons or firearms. In addition, sir, you were out on bond in another case, 2021, actually, you were out ROR in 2021 CF 4948. Because the court's found probable cause for the alleged new law violation, your bond is revoked, or your ROR is revoked. In your other case, you'll be held on no bond in that case. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Louis Hernandez, 8/13/64.
All right, sir, in this case, you're charged with trespass on property after warning. Court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is going to be set in the amount of $500. You'll have no contact with the alleged victim, and you'll not return to the alleged scene. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
PyQ Chang, 7/17/94.
All right, thank you, sir. in this case, you're arrested pursuant to an out-of-county warrant, so there's probable cause for your arrest on the 2 counts set forth in the out-of-county warrant. Pursuant to that warrant, bond is set as follows: count 1, $2,000, and count 2, $500. Thank you.
Your Honor, will you be taking any action on his open case?
No.
No, Your Honor.
No, thank you. I'm sorry. Please state your full name and date of birth.
David Okino, 9288.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, in this case, you're arrested pursuant to an out-of-county warrant, so there's probable cause for your arrest pursuant to that warrant. Pursuant to that warrant, you'll be held on no bond. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Ryan Kroom, 9159.
All right, thank you. Sir, in this case, you're arrested for an alleged probation violation, so there's probable cause for your arrest because of that alleged probation violation. You're going to be held on no bond in your probation case. Actually, you have 2 cases, sir, both alleged probation violations, so you'll be held on no bond on both of your
Sir, that's
probation
the
cases.
drug court.
Pardon?
It's the drug court. I've been on that program for 2 years. I'm in the 3rd phase, going on the 4th phase, in the process of getting out of that. So I don't know why I wouldn't have a bond on it. It's just the owner, she gave me a bond on another thing.
All I'm saying is right now I'm holding you on no bond on both of those cases. That's without prejudice. You can bring this to the attention of the judge assigned to these cases. Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Jonathan Snell, April 1st, 1973.
All right, thank you. All right, in this case, the Public Defender's Office is not appointed because you do not qualify for appointment of the Public Defender, sir, based on your application. A couple of matters here. First, you're charged with possession of cocaine, and the court does find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. In addition, because of the alleged new law violation, probable cause finding, that's basis for an on-view violation of probation in your BOP case, so you'll be held on no bond in that case. Thank you.
Your Honor, Andre Tillman is behavior.
Okay, thank you. Let's reset for tomorrow. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Crystal Bowen, October 29th, 1996.
All right, thank you. In this case, you've been detained for the charge of disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for your arrest on that charge. Bond is set in the amount of $250. Thank you.
Your Honor, she does qualify for pretrial release.
She does qualify?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Instead of $250, you'll be released subject to PTR supervision. Thank you.
Your Honor, will you be setting any conditions?
Pardon?
Will you be setting any conditions?
The only conditions will be no return to the alleged scene.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Please state your full name and date of birth.
Amber Bowen, July 18th, 2002.
All right, thank you. In this case, you're charged with disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for arrest on that charge. Does she qualify for?
Your Honor, we were unable to speak to her prior to initial appearance, but the defendant has no prior criminal history. She may qualify.
All right. If she qualifies for PTR, she'll be released PTR. If she does not, bond will be set in the amount of $250. In either event, the conditional release will be no return to the alleged scene. Thank you. Sir Gabriella John? 21014491.
Gabriella John bonded, Your Honor.
Bonded? Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, sure.
is that everything? Could we be dismissed?
I believe so. That was, I think that was the last, right? Okay.